Back now on Triad Today, and as we get ready for the holidays, I can't think of a better guest to have here. We always like it when Sheila drops by. Lori Bates, head director. Let's meet our good friend Sheila Jones, director of development for Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care. Welcome back, dear.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
I appreciate you driving down to talk with us, and but you're so busy all during the year, not just the holidays. For those who have missed some of our segments before, we always like to start out with a 15-second sort of recap, just so people know, what is hospice care?
Hospice is a care that's normally provided in someone's home for anyone who has a prognosis of 6 months or less, or a terminal illness that they're being told they have 6 months or less, so it can be anything. And
most people prefer to be in the home during that time, but you can also be in a nursing facility. You can be at the hospice home that you all own.
Nursing facility, assisted living, wherever that patient or family member calls home.
Right. Now,
under bridges, in campers, wherever we have.
Wherever they are. Yeah, I mean, the families. It's important for families to know what hospice care is and to know that it's accessible, and that's what we want to talk about. You've been telling folks, and I've seen you on some other TV stations, talking about why the holidays are a good time for families to talk about potentially the need for hospice care in the future. Why is that?
Well, you know, with everybody's lives being so busy, we're running here and there and doing, everybody working in school and colleges and all things going on, sports, extracurricular activities, families nowadays don't get together to visit or spend time together as much as they used to.
Right.
So the holidays is the time when they do that, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And that is a good time for families to express their needs and what they want. You know, parents are getting older, grandparents are getting older, and we're not going to get any younger.
You talk about anything. You talk about, hey, let's take a minute to just celebrate life and loving each other, and let's talk about living wills.
Sometimes you handle an important issue.
Living wills, estates, and one of the things is you've got this 5 wishes form that they can fill out. What is this all about?
This 5 wishes is a simple way to put your advance directives in layman's terms, and it's also as a guide for your as a family member. And it talks about the 5 wishes that's most important. Who I want to make decisions for me, what kind of medical treatment I want, how comfortable I want to be as a patient, and possibly what I want, how I want people to treat me. Do I want them to treat me as if I'm a patient or as if nothing's happening and I want things to go on?
Sure.
And then also what I want my loved ones to know. So that way, if you're the caregiver for someone, you can designate how much information I want them to have.
Exactly.
This is a wonderful tool that we provide for at no cost to folks in the community.
Now, let's say I fill this out and the family's together. We've never approached these topics before, and some of us are young and some of us are older. And we say, let's just plan ahead. Let's talk about this. None of us are in distress right now, but there could come a time.
Exactly.
So we all start filling these out. Does this become a legal document then?
It can be. It can turn into your advance directive. You can have it notarized, and if it's recognized in 40 states. So if you need to look in the inside and make sure the state that you live in, and which we're here in North Carolina, and we serve Virginia, it's recognized in those states. So that can become your advance directive document, your living will or your agent.
This is great, and this is free, and we're going to put up a website in a little bit where people
tell you an example of a family member that did something with this. She invited folks to dinner and put one at all the place settings of all the folks that she felt as the daughter of the family who she was going to be responsible caring for, and it prompted conversations.
There you go. See, I didn't think about that, because you know, if we're going to be the ones looking after older adults later on.
She wanted a guide, and this was a guide for her. This was a way that she could make sure that their wishes were carried through.
Well, I think this is great. It's necessary. I hope everybody will do it. We'll put up a website in a minute to make sure. Before we run out of time, I want to get a plug in for the annual ornament. Now, this is going to be hard, Richard and Lori, I know, to see. We can get a shot of this later. But this ornament is beautiful. It's like a crystal type thing. And now, how can we get this, and who makes them, and what's the scoop?
Well, we sell those, and they're sold in memory and honor of loved ones. They're $20, and we display them on trees in our offices, or folks can get them to take them home to put on their own trees at home, or send them as gifts. And it's a fundraiser that helps us take care of patients when they don't have insurance. So it's part of what we do. Also, it's a great way. It's inexpensive to memorialize a loved one that might have, done something special in the family that are still living, or maybe someone that has been passed in the previous year.
Now, I just think that's great too. And any y'all are always doing fundraisers, and I think this is a great one here. What else is going on around Mountain Valley very quickly? Anything coming up?
I have 2 things to look out for. One is that hopefully coming up by the beginning of the year, we're going to have a whole new website rolling out, so be aware and look for that. And then also in December, we've kicked off our annual 28 Days of Giving fundraiser. We have 58 prizes to give away, over $5,500. Folks can just call one of our offices, any one of our 7 locations to get tickets.
And you already seen the website while Sheila was talking about that, and that will help you get to the right information. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
All
Glad
right,
to be
dear.
here.
All right.